All right, it's that time again to talk about batteries. This time, we're gonna talk about this setup right here. This is the Bluetti Ac200, and for some reason, we made those batteries for this particular version. I don't know, I think that was the one that was the newest at that time or something like that, but if you know anything about the Bluetti, it's a big battery box. It's got like 2 kilowatt hours of battery inside, and then it's got a 2 kilowatt hour inverter. And that power, you can get it out through AC ports like this one's here, and then USB ports. And just like all the other ones, it's got a 25 amp, 12 volt port in here, and then a 12 volt, 10 amp, you know, accessory thing like that. It's pretty standard now when it comes to these battery packs, solar generators, they call them, right? And so this is not what this video is about. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how do you add more battery to this guy? Let's say that you need more than 2 kilowatt hours, right? And you have this in your van, or you have this at your cabin, or at some remote place, or even in your house. Let's say that the power goes out frequently where you live or where you're at, and you know, 2 kilowatt hours is just not enough. It's like, oh, that gets me like 3 hours of all my loads, but I need 5 hours or something, you know? So there's one way to do it is you can add pre-charged batteries like this, right? I mean, this one has an input for solar. That's what these all do. You can put solar up on your roof and you can keep this charged. And of course, the solar only works during the day when there's sun. But let's say that for some reason, the battery that's stored in here is just not enough. Do you need to add buy a second one of these units? Well, that's one way to add more capacity, right? I think they also now make batteries that attach to these guys from the company, right? But these are quite expensive. Just like this unit, it's quite pricey, right? I don't think it's too outrageous for the amount of features that it's got, right? So it's the same as that. This is like a $3,000 thing, but again, the feature set, this is what the market is commanding right now. And so this is an all-in-one unit, and they work really well, and they have a lot of features. So yeah, it's expensive, but it's not too expensive. I think it's warranted for all the price for everything that you get. So buying a second unit or buying another battery from this company, it's the easiest way, but it's not the cheapest way, right? So today I'm going to show you the most affordable way to do that, and it's to buy some of these batteries. These are batteries that are recycled, or they're recovered from fleets of scooter batteries. And there's a ton of them. We had, you know, tens of thousands of them, and we've gone through them, and then we repackaged them in this form factor. And this is 4 of those batteries put together just so that it's, you know, it's easier to handle, and there's more battery in there. They're really small, and they're kind of weak when they're on in the original form, right? So this is what we did here. And we designed this pack specifically to add capacity to this one. That's why it's got this connector right here. Because here's what happens with the Bluetti. It comes with this solar cable. It attaches, it's got this proprietary, it's not proprietary, but it's kind of a weird connector in there. And then it's got this connector on the other side, which is a male XT90. And so these have a female XT90 connector. So all you have to do is just connect it in there. All right. So there we go. So now this battery now is connected to the Bluetti there. Let's see how much. Oh, look at that. Right away, it's charging at 380 watts. And it changes a little bit. This is going to fluctuate, and results might vary, because what you're doing is you're connecting a battery pack into an MPPT, a Power Max tracking device that is designed to load solar panels, right? And so we're not connecting a solar panel, we're connecting a battery. And batteries, you know, react a bit different than solar panels. And so that's the reason why you will see this kind of fluctuating up and down, because it's trying to find the max load that it could load this battery. And of course, this battery is not reacting as a solar panel would, and so that's why it's going back and forth. Now, that's just one of those things that you're gonna have to put up, but it is charging it, right? And so if this bugs you, then yeah, you're not gonna like this. But if you can just forget that that's happening and then just see past that, then you know you're gonna get all this energy that's stored in this battery, and it's gonna go in here. And it's gonna charge your battery right now at 64. If you leave it there a few hours, then you're gonna eventually come back and it's gonna be close to, you know, I don't know, 80 or something. This right here is 750 watt hours, right? So this is two kilowatt hours, right? So 2,000 watt hours. This is 750. So it's not quite half. It's about 3/8 of the battery in here. So in order to like completely charge it, then you would need at least 3 or 4 of these. I guess like 4 of these, and you can parallel them, and then you can add the battery in here. Now, one way that you can do that is you can connect them all in parallel, and that would stay with the same voltage, which is about 36 volts. These are 36 volt batteries, right? And so that's the max charging rate that you're gonna get, about 300 watts. So if you wanted to make this go faster, then what you have to do is you can install more of these in series, and you can go all the way in voltage to 150. If you can read that in there, it says 35 to 150 volts. So connecting 36 volt batteries to a 35 minimum you know, device, it's gonna keep this at the very minimum, right? So 300 watts is, so adding more in series is gonna be really helpful. It's gonna speed up that speed at which you can recharge this guy, and then it's also gonna allow you to add more battery, more recharging, right? So let's do that. You will need a special cable. I made this one, but you can buy some at Amazon that are slightly different. They're kind of wise, and I will put a little diagram to show you how to connect those in here. But it'll do basically the same connection. It's in series. This battery will be connected to this battery, to this battery, to this battery, and we're gonna connect 4 of these because that gets the voltage really high, like around 111 volts or something like that, 140 volts fully charged, but at nominal somewhere around 120 volts or something like that. So let's do that and then see how fast we can achieve the charging speed on this. All right, now these batteries here are connected in series, and so there's over 100 volts going into the unit here. So let's see how high this thing goes. Okay, so 698, 710. So about 710, I think, is the highest that we've ever seen on this unit. So I think that is where this unit is the top charging speed of this device, right? So there you go. You can charge up to 700 watts. So that's 750 watts hours times 4. That's about 3,000 watt hours. So about 3 kilowatt hours. So about 150% more battery than here. So this battery will charge. If those are 100% charged, you can charge this unit from fully depleted to 100%. This is a really cheap way of doing this. These are selling for like $120 on our website. So that's times 4. You're under 500 bucks, and you can add way more battery, right? So now you're looking at a system here that is about 5 kilowatt hours. And so now that becomes a real serious system. Also, by the way, there are other batteries that work with that cart, right? There are a bunch of scooter batteries that we sell, and these ones are cheaper. These are, I think, half a kilowatt hour each one, and they're selling for like $60 when they're fully tested, even less than that, like $40 when they're untested, right? But of course, those you might get some that are bad, some that are not that great, and you will have to figure out how to get them working, right? So now when we test them, we figure out how to make them work, and that's why we sell them for a little bit more. But these definitely will be even a cheaper way to add a lot of battery. In this case is 1, 2, 3. So this cart right here would be like 12 kilowatt hours. And you could just connect that right into your solar port of that Bluetti, and then you would expand your battery to some crazy capacity, like a 12 kilowatt hour battery, for way less, a fraction of the cost that it would cost you to do that with some of the other systems that are offered by Bluetti. All right, so 700 watts is quite low, actually, right? So what I want to test to see is right now if we can charge with the brick, right? So that is charged into the wall, and then with the battery. So basically add solar charging also. All right, so now we've gone big on the batteries. 700 watts, 705 watts, plus 400 watts from the AC inverter and the AC charger. So there we go. That's 1300. What is that? 1200 watts. That's pretty fast charging here. This should be charged pretty quickly. All right, so that's working. Now I just plugged a load in here, and it's 800 watts. So 1200 watts in, 800 watts out. This still should be able to charge this way. On next video, I will show you how to connect big rack mount style batteries into this thing, right? These are 5 kilowatt hours each, so that's 20 kilowatt hours there. I'll show you what the cables are needed, all that stuff. And so that's for next video. Today, we just extended the battery on this by plugging stuff into the solar port, right? So there we go. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.